10 household items you need to stock up on before, and what it's saying here, the upcoming Great Depression. You know, this is an article by Christine C. done on March 25th, 2022, and from askaprepper.com. But they write, most people would probably name the Great Depression of the 1930s as the largest example of a worldwide economic crisis in U.S. history. But did you know that there have been over 48 total recessions in United States history? And it goes on, if the next big economic collapse is anything like the Great Depression was, international trade will fall, unemployment will rise, food and work will become scarce, and most folks today won't know what hit them. What's more, some of these things have already started happening. Since the recurrence of a Great Depression that could impact the entire world is most certainly on the horizon, there are a few household items you would be wise to stock up on before the next major economic crisis hits. And bleach is one. In a worldwide SHTF crisis, it is said that a dehydration will be the first major killer. This is why, if you don't already have a few gallons of this stuff under a sink or in a bug-out bag, you should start to stock up now. Now, bleach has a wide range of uses in survival situations, and it would be a great item to have in your prepper stockpile or bug-out bag. Guys, you got to have needle and thread. Finding quality fabric and buying clothes made to last has become more difficult and more expensive throughout the years. It would be a smart move to invest in a few clothing items made of long-lasting materials such as leather, canvas, or other strong and durable fabric types. Clothes that will last a long time are important. However, knowing how to fix rips and holes in clothes you already own is even better. Knowing how to repair clothing will make the clothes you have last much longer. Knowing how to sew will be a remarkable skill if trade and barter become the norm post-depression. Guys, how many out there know how to sew? I'm sure there's a lot of you out there that know how to sew. And then you go on with jars and other usable food storage containers. Glass containers can be used to germinate seeds, ferment food, catch yeast, clean water, store food, and more. When a SHTF, the public service like trash can, electricity, sewage, and water might not be reliable anymore, if this happens, you can expect trash to become a very serious problem. In order to prevent your own trash buildup, keeping glass jars or other types of durable containers around will help you keep your space cleaner and consequently cut down on pests and germs. Guys, the next item is, seeds. You want to keep seeds. In the thick of the Great Depression, people had to learn to stretch meals very far if they wanted to keep their families from going hungry. And during this time, the government would give food handouts or ration coupons, to the unemployed. A typical handout consisted of things like beans, potatoes, powdered milk, and sometimes even a pound bag of sugar or flour. However, if you have seeds, soil, a little patience, some forethought, and a lot of determination, you can grow enough food for yourself and your family. While you can't really live on vegetables alone, it will be a good way to bulk up the food you hopefully already have in your prepper pantry or food stockpile. Gloves is another thing. Leather gloves, gardening, latex, rubber, kitchen, whatever. Any gloves you can get your hand on. Exactly right. It's prudent and practical to have, at the very least, 2 pairs of each type of glove. This is so you can use one as your everyday pair and the other as a backup. Always have redundancies, when your main gloves become damaged. Baking soda, another super versatile and shelf-stable baking soda, is cheap and pretty much always stocked in stores. We'll find out about that, right? However, just because it's inexpensive now doesn't mean it will stay that way. It probably won't. When people start to realize just how valuable this stuff is, there's a good chance you will have trouble finding it at all. At least not at a fair price. Can you imagine that? Baking soda being $11.99 a box? Candles, another good staple to always have. Because of blackouts, service disruptions. Right. And however, to really prepare for a long-term crisis, you want to stock up on a lot more than what most people tend to have on hand. Exactly right. And trash bags would be the same as well. They can be used for water collection, flood prevention, waste management, food storage, duct tape. Keep that. It's easy to use. It's inexpensive. It's a great for fixing leaks and holes. Yeah, you can. Mending shoes, you could. You can use it as a fire starter, guys. Duct tape works good as a great fire extender. Books is another good thing to have. And although you don't need books to survive, it's good to have an outlet. This is especially true when you've suffered heavy blows in your finances, home, family life, and or pantry. When times seem bleak, you will be happy to have a good book or two around. And I agree with that. It's good for morale. So there you have it. 10 household items you should always keep, if you can, or stockpile before the next Great Depression. Hopefully something like that won't happen, but you never know. But good to be with you guys. A little presentation there.